And we are live. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where today I am here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It ain't gonna happen this video, but that's okay. I'm gonna live to fight another day. I'm not monetized yet, so I'm gonna be doing a whole lot of cussing this video. So y'all strap in. And if those y'all who don't like cussing, this ain't the channel for you. Even though the irony is it's called Watch Your Mouth. James ain't watching his mouth. But that will live to fight another day as well. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello, beautiful people. I hope y'all like the video. Share the video, leave a comment, consider subscribing. All of those things will help James to get monetized. And he usually doesn't curse very much, like not even in his personal life. So if he is going to curse, he's probably got a reason.
Yes, I have more than a reason, but yes, please subscribe to Mrs. Best. Any reviews or recaps I don't cover on my channel, I collab with her and we cover them on her channel. We do a lot of shows together as well. She does a lot of shows on her own. They're scripted, unscripted. She does an amazing job. You guys, please go into my description box, click on her link, subscribe to her channel, enjoy the content, like all of her videos, and let's get her momentum going up as well. We really do appreciate everything that she gives. Mrs. Moncrief, oh my goodness, I needed you in my Bell Collective live, but I'm glad to see you here in any live. But I needed you Saturday. Hopefully you can Sunday. Hopefully you can make my next live. But thank you for coming. And yes, this is getting very, very messy. So I agree with Mrs. Moncrief. So I have some personal words that I need to get out before I go into this episode. And some of y'all are not going to like what I have to say. And to be honest, that's why I have a channel, because it's my opinion. And this is my channel. This is a show that everyone's asked me to cover. So I agreed, and I'm going to do so. So I'm going to say this with the best of intentions. With the exception of Riley, maybe Ava, and potentially Amira, the rest of you motherfuckers do not have a reason to be for Charlie. I want to make that very, very clear. I am about to be on Charlie's side with everybody except for Riley at this point, and maybe Amira. Ava's on some fuck shit, and I'll get into that in a minute. But I'm about to be on Charlie's side. And I never thought I would say this. But the way I am watching this episode and the way y'all trivial asses is coming up to him with some gutter snipe bullshit, Brooks, is getting on my fucking nerves. And I'm not about to play with y'all with this show. Because this shit was so stupid. And I have to remind myself, yeah, I was 21 once. Absolutely. I was definitely 21 once. Did I make rash decisions? Yes. Did I make beefs that were stupid? Yes. So I have to come into the mindset that I'm not 36 watching this, that I'm 21 watching this, thinking of these really trivial ass beefs against this grown ass man over shit y'all shouldn't even be arguing about. I get it. I was 21 once too. That's why it's so hard for me to recap this show this season, because last season I felt like the drama was a little bit more understanding. Like I could get it, because even in my grown life, I understand. But this is wild. This is wild. So I'm gonna do my best to cover this and not get agitated like I was watching this. Okay? But I had to get it off my chest. But I'm about to be on Charlie's side with a lot of this shit. I really am. So if y'all not on Charlie's side, y'all can exit stage left. Don't collect $200. Pass go. I'm sorry, this ain't the show for y'all. But what has Charlie done? I need to, with the exception of Riley, I get why she would have a problem with him. Understandably so. But the rest of them, I don't get it. And I said maybe Amira because I'm back and forth with it. So let's get into the episode. So the episode opens up. Everybody is running late to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which literally is the stage play that they really didn't cover well because I didn't understand what it was. I didn't understand what I was looking at. I don't know if this was going off the Glee season of the Rocky Horror Picture Show or if this was actually going off the American Horror Story. I don't know what they were doing. To be honest, I didn't know what they were doing. But everybody is running late. So half the group, which is Amira, Ava, Georgia, and Amira's boyfriend, which I don't remember his name, and I really don't give a fuck. They're at another event, which was this elite event they do in the Upper East Side of Manhattan. It's by invitation only, and it was like, okay, I'm looking at the invite list. So Georgia gets invited to an elite Halloween party. Okay, okay. It seemed like it's something that you just pay $275 per ticket for, and you just go up in there. Y'all not fooling nobody. I don't bit more believe that this was only the elite's invitation only party goes. So I believe this is something you pay $275 with. You probably network with somebody who is drunk and that will probably not remember you the next day. And that's probably what this was. Y'all get out my face with all this. But anyways, where the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I guess, was deep inside of Brooklyn where can't nobody get to very quickly by car because everyone was Ubering and everybody was pretty much late to the event. And once everybody got there, people were watching the show. But the first few people, besides Amira, Georgia, Ava and Amira's boyfriend get there, all the rest of them are there. And Shy and Liam have a conversation about, his date with Ariana. And pretty much he said it wasn't really a date. It was, me just putting together a closet and us getting to know each other as friends. It wasn't really all that serious. And pretty much they said, well, we talked to Hudson about it and he's not cool. And I know you're new into the group, but if you want to get to know him and everything, you can't be all on his girl. And when Charlie gets there, Charlie said, yeah, because we heard you just want to fuck Ariana. He goes, well, no, it's not like that. I mean, I just want to get to know her. It's not even that serious. It's not that deep or anything. And if that causes me not to get to know y'all, I mean, that's unfortunate, but I think she's cool and everything, and it's not really all that deep. This is my problem with this story. Because Charlie, especially you wasn't seeing it for Hudson, and you was trying to ace your way up in the middle of them two to see if you can get in good with Ariana. So now all of a sudden, because Hudson is the quote unquote billionaire's child on the show, now you want to get in and rub elbows with him and everything. Charlie, you ain't shit, and I see what you're trying to do. Now you're trying to act like you have allegiance. Wow, okay. And Shy, your messy ass, we gonna get into you in the middle of this episode, in the end of this episode, because I got a lot of word for you, because you messy as fuck. I did not think that looking at you, you would be this damn messy, but you is messy.
Oh, I sense Shy was messy. Like, really, every episode of this season specifically, I feel like Shy has been planting stuff in people's ears, like
Yep.
planting some evil ass seeds. I don't like it. I think he gets away with it because he kind of gets along with everybody, and he does look like
Innocent.
harmless. He look
Mm-hmm.
harmless,
Yes.
but just messy, messier than a queen.
I mean, just messy as hell. And I'm just like, Shy. Like, first off, if I was any of y'all, I wouldn't trust him. I just would. I wouldn't trust him with anything because he literally manufactured 5 different stories in one episode. And you're like, now that is not how that went. So either he don't remember what he be conversating about, or he lies a lot. And I can't picture out to what he is because we haven't seen him really lie on this subject yet. He lied at the end, but he hasn't lied like in the beginning. So that's why I can't say he's a quote unquote just a whole liar. But he did definitely be taking back stories wrong and shit, and then being messy and acting like he had great intentions and acting like he your friend. Well, really, he's not. He a snake. He a snake. So before I move on to the next scene, because after this they go to another party. But my question for Mrs. Best would be, directly speaking, about Hudson, Shy, and Charlie. Because Charlie tried to get with Ariana last season to spite Hudson because she thought she was cute, and because Shy is friends with Ariana more than he is friends with Hudson, do you think he really has the right to press Liam about trying to talk to her and date her despite him not even knowing Hudson or being friends with him?
Wait, who? The way you asked that confused my brain.
Okay, but my question basically is: do you think that Shy and Charlie have a right to tell Hudson he can't date Ariana in spite of these all these kids. Shy and Charlie, do you think they have a right to tell Liam that he can't date Ariana because of Hudson?
No. First of all, Ariana didn't date either of them. Second of all, even if they did date her, she is a person and she makes her own decisions on who she wants to date. I don't understand why all of these people are so involved in her dating life. Either the drama is manufactured and they're just doing what they can, thinking they're making a show interesting, or these people have serious boundary issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's
I,
very weird. Like, me and James are close, right? But I'm not gonna like, if he were to break up with someone, he went through a breakup a while ago. And his last breakup, like, I didn't get involved. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to tell anyone anything. I'm not telling him when to start dating or any of that. Like, that's weird. Like, why are you policing who she dates? Who are y'all dating?
right.
Why you sitting up here using her as a storyline? Shy, who are you dating? Because as quiet as kept, I don't know which direction you go. Okay. And then as for who is it? Charlie? Is that the other one?
Yeah.
Fight your case and figure out how to be away from criminal activity in the cyber world. This is the last thing. Charlie, you had all of this and was in the news for all of this crazy stuff, and you haven't said anything. You should have said something on camera, explain the situation, even, at least gave us the statement that your attorney said you could give. So I don't understand why they're talking about Ariana. I feel like they're using her to avoid discussing themselves. I don't like that, especially from some men. I'm sorry. Please excuse my French, but they're moving like bitches.
I mean, that's the best way to put it. What else my notes say? Um. Okay. I'm gonna move on. So they go to the after party. And there's a lot of things that are going on here at this after party. So many different following conversations. So I'm gonna try to get everything compartmentalized into one. So the first thing we do is we meet Rowan's boyfriend. I forgot his name already. Damn, he wasn't that memorable. She said that they met at a fraternity party. He was trying to get her a drink, and it was one of those parties where they had coolers and they had beer all in the cooler. So she basically said, "I can get my own drink. You don't need to get me no drink." And he seemed like a nice guy. He's a real estate agent. He seemed really nice from what I saw. He wasn't too impressed with Shy, texting Rowan all the time. He kind of jokingly like checked him on it, but wasn't really being serious. And also, I was all like, yeah, you might want to watch Shy because he ain't the most forthcoming. I'm not sure if he would take someone else's girlfriend, but the way he lie and make up shit, you just never know. So let me see who in this chat here. Mrs. Marquis said Shy would throw a mountain to hide. Said he sure would. That Shy was something else this episode. And that's all they're doing is making Liam pursue her more. I don't know if that's what they're doing. Cause Liam looked like the type when it's too messy, he just goes away from it. Like he ain't got time to be with no mess. And I think that honestly, I feel like he gonna stop talking to Ariana because this is getting too complicated. He's not friends with Hudson. Hudson is barely around. So I don't understand why this would even fucking matter anyway. So it's crazy. Hi, Vi. Thank you for being here. Hey, B. Thank you for being here. We missed you last live. Thank you for being here. So, yes, y'all, please hit the like, comment, and please like the video and subscribe. I can't even talk because I'm so pissed at this. So, when they get to the party, there's a lot of things that are going on. Ariana needs to confront Shy about this whole him telling her personal business to her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend and all of this. Amir needs to confront Charlie about him telling Georgia her business and how she felt about Georgia pushing up her boyfriend. Brooks needs to confront Charlie because he thinks every time he comes around there is weird, and he wants to confront him about saying to keep his name out of Charlie's or keep Charlie's name out of his mouth. He wants to confront Charlie about that. So a lot of confronting going on around here. Lots of bullshit, if you ask me. Lots of bullshit. So the first thing we gonna talk about is Brooks. So Brooks goes up to Charlie after being convinced by Ava in the mirror just to have a simple conversation and kind of let the air out instead of just running from him. So when Brooks approaches Charlie, Charlie says, "Hey," and he was being very pleasant, very nice. And Brooks was like, "Well, hi, Charlie. I just, wanted to talk to you." And Charlie said, "Wait a minute, before we start talking, I just want to make sure you come in with good energy. This is genuine. I'm not going to get no, awkward smirk that you be doing and this little giggle that you be doing. I want to make sure that we going to talk. This is going to be real." And he goes, "Well, why would it be?" He said, "Because every time I'm around you, you give me this look and like you discuss it with me and why am I here and everything. So I don't know what kind of energy you coming on with," which is very understandable because Brooks has been passive aggressive. If you don't want to fool with Charlie because he got this case because you just like your mama, then don't be around him. But when he come around, don't make no smirk and acting like you better than him in some capacity, like your mama be doing on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So don't come with that energy. But they're talking about the egregious things about what he had did first season when it came to Seth and when it came to Chloe, and I'm just like, oh my god, here we fucking go. I'm about sick of this shit because, as I said time and time again, yes, Charlie was wrong for saying that he wanted to fuck Chloe. To Brooks, can't no man tell me he want to go fuck my sister. That's bottom line, cannot happen. But Brooks is literally scraping the juice out of a turnip trying to get this storyline to flow and it's just not flowing. So Charlie got fed up and said, "You know what? Fuck your dad." Brooks is like, "Ugh, you just said fuck my dad? Like my dad? Really?" He goes, "Absolutely. I'm not finna sit up here and entertain this shit with you. Fuck your dad." He goes, "Your dad is literally a house husband. He's married to a housewife. That is very fucking pathetic." I said, "Well, damn." I said, "Well, whoa." And Brooks goes to production and was like, "I can't film with him anymore. I can't do this." He just said, "Fuck my dad," just so insulted. So Charlie goes to reason with Brooks. He goes, "Look, I told you I'm not on this. Like, we used to be friends. We were friends way before this show. And you over here doing like some unfamiliar shit to me. I'm not trying to do all of this with you." So Ava pipes up and was like, "Okay, well, listen. Brooks, Charlie, can y'all really just kind of like whatever you two need? Like, why don't this be a give and take situation? What can Brooks do to make you feel more comfortable around him?" And Charlie said he could stop with that smirk and that awkward ass laugh every time I come around here. And so Brooks was like, "Okay, fine, I'll stop doing that." And then I forgot what he wanted Charlie to start doing because I really don't give a fuck. Because as I said, it was petty and fucking stupid. But based on what I said, Mrs. Best, do you think that Brooks really has a reason to be angry with Charlie over this whole situation, or do you think Brooks is just dragging it for dear gods?
Brooks, please go back to Salt Lake City. You know, what's funny is Brooks almost killed Salt Lake City before the show could even really get popular with acting all traumatized that apparently seeing Jen Shaw's coochie. So I am not surprised at this. I think Brooks probably is like Meredith and is very aware that everybody else on Next Gen was liked or found interesting, and everybody from big bloggers to small bloggers to regular people, nobody is a Brooks fan. And not because we dislike him, but more so because he just doesn't have the personality for reality TV. And no shade, it gives that he's privileged. I don't know who's buying his clothes, but Brooks be looking for a moment because I've been annoyed and my fucking teeth have been itching at the fact that you really have a problem with Charlie potentially mentioning your name. That's stupid. It's literally stupid. So I don't even want to give too much. energy to Brooks. I don't care for Charlie either, but as it relates to Brooks, he's not wrong. Brooks is acting like a spoiled little bitch, and he can go. I'm
He is,
tired of
because
it.
it's like this is y'all have literally dragged this for dear God. Like it is over now. Like what can? Why are we still arguing about this? And even Charlie said we have hung out since then, and you didn't make it an issue until we started filming again. And I 100% believe Charlie. I do think that off camera, him and Brooks definitely did have some hanging out time. And I think when the cameras picked back up, Brooks did what his mama did. Turn your label. So I'm just at this point, I'm over Brooks. So meanwhile, as Brooks and Charlie are trying to kind of agree to disagree and move on, all you see is Georgia just indulging. Oh my God, look at Charlie. He's over there getting confronted. But wait, why is Ava over there? What is Ava doing? Why is she talking to him? I thought me and Ava had an agreement. Me and Ava had this agreement and everything. And I'm just like, Georgia, you spaz. Calm it the fuck down. Because she had another one I'm about to get into in just a second. But just calm it down. It's gonna be all right. Ava ain't doing what you think she doing. So we gonna move along and we gonna kind of go away from Brooks. And the next argument we gonna get into is Amira. So Amira confronts Charlie about but the potentials of him telling Georgia about the whole quote unquote uncomfortable flirting with the boyfriend situation because we really don't know because Amira let her tell it at the beginning of the season. She was mad about the Ozempic thing. But now that we done move forward in this, she really mad about the boyfriend thing. I said, Amira, this is another reason why I don't like the show. I'm starting not to like the show because it's so much inconsistency. It's so much inconsistency. And I think the reason why she couldn't have got mad that long is because she forgot that Georgia apologized in the moment. And that would have made her look like a complete asshole if she continued that on. So now we got to make it about the boyfriend thing. So she confronts Charlie. She said, listen, I talked to Georgia, and Georgia told me that, she had heard that I was uncomfortable and accused her of flirting with my boyfriend from, the gay grapevines, which was Amira's assistant and her friend, the little one she always with. And then Georgia changes her story. It says, and this is where I'm gonna get Amira again, because she didn't change her story. She said that she heard it from her friend and potentially your assistant, and then she said Charlie then confirmed that that's what you were mad at. So Amira, get the shit straight if you gonna tell. But Amira asked him, "Did you tell Georgia that I was upset? Because I don't even remember telling you about that." And he says, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember if I told her, but it does sound, but I remember us having a conversation. So it may have come out. And I'm not gonna just throw George under the bus like that. I think I may have said it. So Amir didn't know really what to do. And I'm just looking at Amir like, oh, this is where you start to look phony to me. Because you said you and Charlie were gonna have a problem if he really did tell Georgia that. So what Amira does at this very moment is says, okay, well, I mean, it wasn't cool, but since you're being honest with you, being honest with me, I can't really fault you on that. I do feel a way, but you know, what can I do? So she lets it go and doesn't say anything, right? I'm looking like, is this really an issue, Amir? Or are you trying to fall in line with the group and ice Charlie out? Because at this point, I'm confused. I'm confused. So, Mrs. Best, I have to ask you now to get to these comments because I see y'all in the comments. So, Amira said last episode if Charlie really did say that she was going to have a big issue. When she confronts Charlie about it and he pretty much confirms, yeah, I may have did it, she's okay with it now. Does it seem like to you that it's a plot to ice Charlie out?
I feel like the group is trying to do that anyway. And I think it's also easy to pick on him just because he does kind of give easy target. He flips out after so long. It just feels like they're trying to produce, but they're so young that they're not really doing it right. And if this is really how they move, messy, but I'm not surprised. Like, Amira seems cool, but I had a strong opinion on Amira in season one, and now she's kind of proving my point. All of these people, like, you can't do reality TV if you're afraid of confrontation. Don't talk shit in your confessionals, and then when it comes time to be confronted with people, you do nothing. It's giving they're all like little Phaedra Parks in training.
Not Phaedra Parks at train. Oh my goodness. Let me go ahead and get these comments real quick. Bush campers hit like as well and join us in the chat. Not bush campers. Trying to buy some clothes at with that almost 10 grand his daddy gives him a month. Shake my head. I feel like he got cut off. I don't know. Some a part of me just feels like that allowance got cut off. I can't prove it yet, but I feel like it did. Brooks finally facing Charlie. The tension was that you could cut it with a knife. I mean, and here's the thing. As I said, I feel like Brooks is dragging this beef with Charlie because he has nothing else. He has no other problems with nobody. Yes, what Charlie said was messed up. I 100% agree with that. But at the same time, either you want an apology or you don't. You either gonna move on or you won't. Like I'm sorry. Like he's dragging this way too far, and I'm getting sick of it. Because you know what happens with me when there's a tug of war, I tend to go on the other side that ain't really struggling, and that's Charlie for me because this is stupid. Charlie also doesn't like that Brooks doesn't party anymore, but buys drinks for him. Buys drinks for him. I think that for me, if I had a friend that I was friends with well before a show started, and then when the show started, that friend was acting funny style and kind of distance himself from me and not really giving me an explanation as to why, I would feel like Charlie too. Like that's fake and that's phony. Like we were good before the show, and even during the first seasons of the show, they seemed like they had a great rapport with one another. So now season two, I let something slip out about your sister, which I was wrong for. And if you wanted an apology, you should have just asked for apology. Because in my mind, if I don't know that I'm wrong for saying that, which common sense would think you were wrong, but I don't know Charlie's mindset, so I don't know. Maybe that's how he get his girls. I don't know. But I just don't think if we were friends and I do something that hurted you or offend you, I would hope that you would tell me if I'm not 100% sure I did something to you. I would hope that you would come to me and say, look, friend, what you said was out of line. You may not think it was because I know how you move, but what you said was out of line and it was uncalled for. And that's up to me to apologize. That's not what Brooks did. So I can't really fault Charlie for not knowing what the problem is if Brooks isn't going to say something. Yes, he said foul shit, but what is Brooks really mad at? Because quiet as kept, he wasn't even really mad about that because he didn't say anything about it. So, yeah. Hey, Keywan, thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much, you guys. Keywan also is a great content creator. She has a lot of great content out. Go ahead and follow my girl. Click on her pretty picture, or her link is in my description box for the replay game. Shout out to y'all. Yes. Charlie had me laughing. He really came in trying to make peace with Brooks, but somehow the conversation turned into drama. Only on Next Gen. Do y'all think Charlie was being genuine? I I go back and forth with that because a part of me says yes, he was, because I think he does miss his friend, but he knows that Brooks is playing for the camera. So how genuine can you really be? Like Mrs. Best, do you agree with that? Like, do you think Charlie was being genuine so far in this whole season when it comes to Brooks?
Charlie ain't done nothing to Brooks this season. He hasn't done anything to anybody, really, if we're being honest. I think last season he came in hot. I feel like he understands that. I don't feel like he wants to talk about his little cyber situation in that case. And I don't feel like he wants to start no crap with nobody because he knows they'll throw it in his face. But they keep coming for him. I feel like they're coming for Charlie and Riley this season.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Dr. Jim Bunny is here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Is Seth his real daddy? Girl, we not starting this on my channel because I don't listen.
Why not? Since Meredith want to talk about karma coming to the people who announced their separations on
That's
the
a whole
Housewives, maybe we can talk about it.
that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. I can't believe I got to talk about these fools. Um, Brooke keeps talking about honestly, but the energy isn't matching the words. Charlie came in trying to make peace, and somehow Brooks still made it feel fake. Is Brooke
He's
playing the
Meredith's
victim?
child.
He's Meredith. This is exactly what Meredith does on Salt Lake City. This is exactly what Meredith does on Salt. What he's doing is exactly what his mom would be doing. Literally the same exact thing, and it's so annoying. That's why I don't like Meredith. Because Meredith come off like she don't be doing shit, she don't say shit, and then when confronted, I'm disengaging. I want no part of this. I want no part of you. And it's like, well, we can't have an honest conversation because you keep running. How are we gonna have an honest conversation? We're on the show together. We're supposed to be working together. If you keep every time you're confronted, keep running away or keep saying you're disengaging because you don't want to be held accountable. How the fuck are we supposed to move on? If somebody can answer that for me, I would love to read it. Because he's doing exactly what his mama be doing, and it's irritating as fuck. AB, say it louder for the people in the back. I don't know what the fuck I'm watching. Like, seriously. I don't think, let me tell you, Brooks looks exactly like Meredith. If he put on a long brunette wig, you wouldn't know if that was him or Meredith. They look exactly alike. The older son does look like Seth. He does. Yeah, he does. Absolutely. Hot Mike, allegedly. Charlie look a hard 45 years old, maybe 50. He just gaining weight. You know, when you 30 and you start gaining that, unnecessarily slow metabolism weight. That's all. That's all it is. Not Fraser Parks in training. Yes, like, comment, and subscribe. I agree. He is doing too many rugs, in my opinion. Dr. Jen is aging him. He doing something. I don't know what it is. He doing something. The way I'm 3 episodes behind, my God, Brooks full of he is. He full of shit, and it's so annoying. Keywan, you okay? You ain't missing nothing. I have Charlie keeps proving he's the season's biggest troublemaker. Agree or disagree? I'm in between. I don't know if I don't think he's the troublemaker, but I think it's easy to make him the scapegoat. I do. I think it's very easy for a lot of them to make him the scapegoat, which in hindsight isn't fair. If he's not doing anything this season to really make him the scapegoat. Because as I said, the only person that really should have an issue with Charlie at this present day right now is Riley. Because he did do some passive aggressive, elitist, sort of racist thing towards her to get her to react and look like a certain thing. I do think that Riley has validity in her beef with Charlie. But everybody else, I'm picking and choosing. I'm picking and choosing. He hasn't. Like, what is Charlie? If someone can tell me what Charlie actually did this season, don't go back to last season and try to bring that shit here. What has Charlie done this season? I'm waiting. So we then move on to Shy and Ariana. So they're sitting on the couch. It was Shy, Ariana, Liam, and his little friend, the one that's just there. She's so pretty. She really is. She's a beautiful, beautiful girl. But she always is just there. I think her name is Kendall. I'm going to go with Kendall. I think that's her name. So Kendall and Shy were sitting at the couch, and Liam comes over there. And he tells Shy, like, look, despite what we had earlier, I hope that you and I could get to know each other. Shy was like, well, why wouldn't we get to know each other? And he was like, well, you seem to have a problem with me talking to Ariana, or at least you're being Hudson's spokesperson. And by this time, Ariana and Gia make their way over there. And he goes, no, I was just saying, it seems like you want to get to know Hudson as well. So I just want to make sure that you're not trying to mac on his girl. So Ariana said, let me stop you right there. It's not Hudson's place to police who I talk to the same way I'm not over there policing him when he got girls over there wearing his, jacket and his hat and wearing my fucking slippers. I'm not over there policing him. So I would like, as you are my friend right now in my face, I would appreciate if you would keep my business out of these streets. Whatever I share with you is between me and you. And he goes, well, I would never do that, but I felt like I was stuck in the middle. And when I was talking to Ava and Rowan, they felt like I should have told Hudson that you were trying to talk to Liam. Ariana looked over and was like, first, and in her confession, she said, first off, I don't bit more believe that Rowan or Ava would tell this fool to go and tell Hudson that I'm over here trying to date Liam. I don't believe that for 1 second. And they played the flashback, and they both said it is not your place to tell Hudson what Ariana is doing. And Shy was all like, "No, I'm pretty sure they told me that. I'm pretty sure." And I'm just looking at Shy like, "You're caught. You're busted. You're busted. What else can you like? You told this girl's business because you think you was honoring bro code, but what you were really doing is you were being messy. And if I was Ariana, I wouldn't even trust your ass again. I wouldn't tell you shit. The fact that Ariana would even consider telling him her personal business again is crazy as hell to me. Because I wouldn't tell that boy a motherfucking thing. He wouldn't even be able to get a tic tac from my ass without me seeing, without him going to a gumball machine or something. I couldn't give him shit else. I'm just saying. So, Mrs. Best, I have to ask you, after Shy was confronted by Ariana and Liam about him running his mouth and him lying and throwing everybody else, do you think that Ariana should tell him any more of her business? Because
Mm,
she was perplexed. She was like, okay, well, next time, don't tell him my business. Meaning that she seemed like she was going to indulge in more secrecy with him. Do you think she should do that?
no, but she's Kim's child, so I don't expect like great discernment or intellect, if I'm being honest. But I don't know what it is. These people are draining for me. What's his name? Shy is not a
Yeah,
friend to anybody.
he's not.
Like, even people I'm not friends with, I'm not gonna run and go tell their business. It's very rare that I'll like talk about people like negatively or in a messy way. And I feel like for most of my friends, it's rare as well. Like when I'm talking to James or Keywan J TV, or Dr. Jen, I consider them all, friends and some other people, But when I talk to y'all, we don't really, unless it's a reality star, we not just talking about people. Like, oh, this bitch at this place I can't stand and this and that. Shy's messy. She shouldn't trust it. The fact that she would even consider it just tells me maybe Kim was putting wigs on her that was too tight at a young age or something because once somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Either you trustworthy or you not.
If Gia's crazy ass can see that Shy ain't no good, I don't know how Ariana can, because Gia was like, listen,
Listen, Gia's
I,
mom is pure evil, okay? She knows how to spot it.
baby Gia said, I don't know about Shy. Like, something about him just is shady. I can't put my finger on it. But Ariana keep telling me to give him a chance, and I'm going to
Maybe
do that.
Shy was Shy here last season.
Barely. Like, he
Okay,
came
that's
in.
probably why he's doing all of this. Maybe he wants to be like noticed. It just seems like they're all a little thirsty for like attention, the spotlight, and to be well received on the show. But I will say this about Shy as it relates to Ariana. It's that meme where it says, "Be careful what you tell your best friend because your best friend has a best friend." And you need to make sure that your business not getting out there. Ariana should pay attention to that. But I do kind of feel for her because it's like Riley kind of threw her under the bus and had unrealistic expectations. And then you got these men trying to police who she dates and her body and all of this. And then she got people she thought was her friends telling her business. I said, the poor girl can't really catch a break. And then Liam liked her and pretended like he knew how to put a closet together. It's just been stress for Ariana the whole season. So
Yeah, I feel for her. I do, because that's a weird position to be put in, where your friends should be rallying around you because they don't know how much of hurt you're really taking on with this situation, especially because it was such a long relationship. But no, but in the meantime, they over there telling him all her personal business and who she could potentially be dating. It's really crazy, really crazy. Um, they released a clip today of what's still to come this season, and oh my god, I haven't even watched it yet because I'm so over these motherfuckers. If Brooks hit the "you can't leave," I'm going to scream. Listen, I'm over Brooks and his mama. It's bad enough I have to recap Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and have to see and hear her fucking ass, but I'm gonna try my hardest. But I hope he doesn't do that. And Riley hasn't spoken to Ariana since the video aired. What video? Since that episode? You mean to tell me Riley ain't spoke to?
I thought they were roommates or something. They were reporting that at one point. I'm so confused on like what's real and what's not real.
I hope that's not true. Like, I hope Unless Bravo is going to air what really happened in that comment, like the full unedited version of that, I don't see that Riley has a point to be mad at Ariana. I don't. I don't. I don't see it at all. I don't know what Riley is doing, and she's really acting like her mama. I don't know. I don't know. So I hope that that's not true. I mean, I'm sure it is, but I'm hoping that it's not off the strength of this episode and Riley acting a fucking fool and then putting some unrealistic ass expectation on Ariana. I hope that's not what she's doing. Maybe something later happens. Maybe something later happens, guys, where Ariana does do something that makes me feel differently. But as of now,
I think it got to do with their moms, because Kim and Candy ain't cool, and I can't be friends with nobody that's not cool or whose family member got problem with my family member. But they probably don't want to say that because it really don't make sense for them not to be talking, and it didn't make sense for Riley to have a problem with Ariana. So
no,
that's
it
the
didn't.
one area I will hold Riley accountable for. Control your liquor. That's probably why your mama don't drink, and you are responsible for you, not your friends.
Shy can leave. He really is on my nerves. I don't know. As I said, I don't know about him. Like to me, he was better being the friend that was always late to shit and showing up at the last minute and then leaving early. He was better then because he is messy. Like y'all, that's a messy motherfucker. I'm trying to tell you, he has been. He has been. Oh, he's messy on the after shows. I don't watch after shows. I'm gonna have to start watching. Ariana said on Watch Weapons Live that after the episode aired, they haven't spoken, and Andy asked if she got an apology, and she said no. Riley, I think, is embarrassed about her behavior and everyone is coming for her on the internet. I get that. I understand that. But my problem with Riley, and this is why it's hard for me to really do this show, y'all, is because I made crazy ass decisions when I was their age. And Lord, thank God I wasn't on a reality TV show where one, I would have to relive those moments and then be judged by a poor decision that I made. I try not to, in my last video, I didn't judge Riley as harsh as I could have because we all have those moments. We all have those moments of being drunk and not realizing where we are in the moment and our behavior. And sometimes if we those angry jacks, sometimes fights happen. But what I'm gonna say is this is that I needed her because she's on TV and she has, it's not like she doesn't come from reality TV. Riley been on TV her whole life. So I would thought that maybe she would have considered that she can't always conduct herself in these ways when filming. Like, because when she's off filming, she can do whatever she wants. We're probably not gonna see it.
I don't know. I think it's really very simple and don't even have to do with how she conducts herself. If you get too messed up, I don't think anybody is faulting her or judging her for that. We just would have been like, ooh, she was sloppy. I think the problem is you got messed up and then you got upset with your friend for your choice. So she
Yes.
just, that's the only thing I have a problem with. She was not accountable. And instead, it looked like she tried to place blame. And that is what Candy used to do on Housewives of Atlanta. Candy used to speak up about what everybody else did in situations that had nothing to do with her, as if she was mother. But if anybody had to correct Candy on anything on RHOA, this is why she was never a favorite of mine. She flipped out and went crazy. So maybe it's just something to run in the family.
Maybe. Maybe. Who knows, but it's a lot. So the last thing we're gonna talk about is Amir comes up to Georgia and tells Georgia that she confronted Charlie about, the issue with him repeating to Georgia that she had a problem with Georgia flirting with her boyfriend. And she tells Georgia that Charlie did admit that he was the person that told Georgia, so she can't really fault Georgia for right now. And she says that Charlie is one of her best friends, and she trusts that he told Georgia that with the good intentions potentially. Georgia looked at the mirror and said, "Oh, really? Okay. So I have something I have to tell you since that's how you feel, because the problem is that it's not so much that situation, but he talks a lot about you to me, especially when he and I were living together. And some of the things he said, I don't agree with. I don't stand for it. I'm not going to even put that on thick like that. But he said when that situation came up that there's no way I could have flirted with your boyfriend because he's gay. Why Georgia say that? Because as soon as Amir heard the words her boyfriend was gay, baby, Amira turned into the Hulk. She went to production and said, get this microphone off me. I'm going home." Meanwhile, production at this point does not know what happened. So they said, "Amira, what's wrong? Like, why don't you talk to us?" She goes, "No, get this shit off me right now." Charlie happens to be walking by and she points her finger and she says, you're dead to me. We're no longer friends. I'm done with you." And walks out of the establishment pissed. Charlie is confused and was like, "Well, what did I do? What happened?" Like, Amir's not trying to hear it. So he goes over to George's little friend and he goes, "What happened with Amira?" And he says, "Well, she had a conversation with Georgia about you being the one that told Georgia this information." And Georgia walks over to Charlie and she goes, "Yeah, I told her some things." And Georgia realizes she's talking to Charlie and she goes, "Well, wait, maybe I shouldn't." And he goes, "No, I want you to tell me what I did. This is chill. I'm not gonna get mad at you. What did you tell her?" And she goes, "Well, remember that night when you told me that I was flirting with her boyfriend? Remember when you said that he wouldn't be interested because he was gay?" Charlie said, "I didn't tell you that." And Georgia said, "Oh my God, Charlie, yes, you did. You did say it." And he goes, "Georgia, I did not say that." And she goes, "Charlie, you're lying. We had a conversation and you said it. You said it, Charlie. Yes, you did." And he goes, "Georgia, I did not say that. I would not say that. I don't even think like that. I may have some other thoughts, but that wouldn't have came out of my mouth." And she goes, "No, Charlie, I remember you said it clear as day." He goes, "Well, I don't remember saying that." She goes, "Fine. Say you don't remember, but I don't lie. I don't lie, Charlie. Like, you lie. I don't lie." And he goes, "Well, okay, well, thanks, Georgia, I guess, for throwing me under the bus yet again with another one of my really good friends now. Thank you." She goes, "Well, that's your fault. You shouldn't lie, Charlie. You shouldn't lie." So Charlie's like, "Fuck, now I gotta go ahead and make this shit right with Amira." But Amira's pissed. Amira's like, I'm done with Charlie. I can't believe he did this to me. That is the most craziest thing. That's the most asinine thing ever. I don't want to see him again. I don't want to talk to him. I am done." And then Amira's boyfriend's like, "Well, I'll go kick his ass. Like, we could put a boxing match together and they can film it. I'll whoop his ass for you." She goes, "Yeah, I want you to beat the fuck out of him." And I said, now we're getting way too off guard here. So we got to dissect this, unfortunately. So I get why Amira was mad. I understand 100% why she was mad. My problem is with this whole situation is that it may have just been a moment of ignorantly speaking to prove a point that Georgia probably wouldn't be flirting with her boyfriend. I don't think he meant it maliciously. And the reason why I say that is because without us really knowing all the details, Amira accusing Georgia of flirting with her boyfriend right in front of her is crazy, because why wouldn't you just say something right then and there if you really thought that she was flirting with your man in front of you? Like, why not confront her right there? So a part of me feels like Charlie may have said that, but I don't think he was saying it to maliciously malign this man or Amira. I think he may have said that to make Georgia feel like that's not what was going on. The man is not into you. Like, I think he was saying it really to bring down the spirits that Georgia didn't really do anything wrong. It was just, friends being friends. I don't think he meant to, because to me it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because Amira, this is once again, if you really had an issue with it and you were sitting right there, why you didn't say nothing then? Why wait until y'all are filming a whole nother season for you to get mad about this shit and then explode on Georgia? It doesn't make sense, y'all. I listen. I tried to really see it from both angles. And like I said, I don't like that Charlie said that. I hate that word that put him in a mirror, and I hate that she had to take that. But once again, y'all, I really don't think he said it maliciously. And I think that if he would have just admitted, "Yeah, I said it, but I didn't say it in a way where it was malicious. I said it to make you feel better," I probably would have took it better, because I could see that. But I don't know. I just felt it was weird. I feel like Amira overreacted and got way too hypersensitive because she didn't even ask Charlie, and that's supposed to be one of your best friends. You didn't even ask Charlie how he meant that or what was meant or if he said it or if he, you just took George's word on it based on that one situation. And I kind of feel like this is a lady you didn't even like. So what made that circumstance any different than the first time? I just want to know. So, Mrs. Best, after hearing my description of what happened, how do you feel about this whole Amir versus Charlie, what he said, if he said it, because we don't know. I mean, I don't think George is a liar personally, but what do you, where do we land with this?
I I'm annoyed with everybody. I'm annoyed with the fact that let's get in the boxing ring. Shut up. I'm also annoyed with the fact that I think Georgia is just looking for a reason to come for Charlie because he's
Mm.
working with her ex. I do think you're right. She probably, like, if he did make the statement, maybe he didn't mean anything by it. He also gives the energy of someone that doesn't really think before he speaks. And I kind of agree with American Born too. Hey, darling. I kind of agree with the comment about Georgia was probably over there getting high with Charlie because birds of a feather flock together and everything was good and they were so close until this situation happened with the boyfriend in the business. And these people use the best friend word loosely, extremely loosely. Because if you were best friends with Charlie, you'd be giving him a break considering all he has going on legally. But, y'all really making me defend this 50-year-old looking 30-year-old man.
I mean, I don't want to defend Charlie either, but I'm starting to get to a point where it's like, okay, he can't be doing all this fucking shit. Like, come on now, it's ridiculous at this point. Like, for real, like I'm starting to
At
be on
this
his
point,
side.
when it rains in New York, the next hurricane to hit New York is Charlie's
It's
fault.
Charlie's fault. Yeah.
The stock market, the Nasdaq, and the Dow Jones, if they crash, it's Charlie's fault. Okay, if I get heartburn or my asthma start acting up and I need to use my inhaler, it's Charlie's fault. Okay, next gen cast, we're gonna blame everything on fucking Charlie. Now carry on and move the fucking plot because I'm getting tired. Every single person's storyline comes back to Charlie, and if it's not coming back to Charlie, they're trying to make Ariana and Hudson's breakup a thing, but we don't care because they're back together in real time. And when it's not that, they're trying to make Riley a problem. But none of these people have storylines. None of them give loyalty, and I don't see the show lasting long term if they don't switch up some stuff. Personally, I feel like get rid of the housewife kids because I feel like they are kind of bringing the show down just a bit. Riley's beef and expectations of Ariana makes no sense. Ariana's here and floating, but she's kind of all over the place. And to me, she's starting to come off as a little bit, just a smidge wishy-washy, because it's kind of impossible, in my opinion, to be friends with everyone. But I feel like the Housewives kids are like kind of bringing down the show. Like when we think of how bored we've been this season, it's because the show is filled with a lot of nothing scenes of these housewife kids doing stuff like Gia and her boyfriend, Riley and her boyfriend. Like, I think the concept is great, but I mean, shows about the next generation of rich kids have never really lasted long. I take WeTV's Growing Up Hip Hop and make that as an example. Like, I don't know why, but maybe growing up rich and with everything that you could have possibly had makes you a little less interesting. They're probably not used to confrontation and stuff, and that could be the disconnect in the season, but not to overanalyze it. Y'all know I'm a psych expert, I can't help it. But it's giving just the way that these people grew up. I feel like a lot of them are just trying to mimic shit that their parents do. Nobody's being authentic. And it's not fun and it's sad because this show was so promising, but I don't know how they'll fix it, if that makes sense.
Um,
Like usually it's
the
just
only
like
way to
shake
really
up the
fix,
cast,
yeah, the
but
only way they can fix it is shake up the cast and quit allowing people to direct their own storylines the way that y'all do. It's one thing for them to present it and then follow along with it, but it's another one for them to direct it and talk about certain topics and don't talk about certain things, or if you're going to talk about it, then I'm going to limit how much I talk about it. That's not a show. That's not a show. Like, it's not. And I'm scared for this. I really am. And let me tell you why I'm scared about this. I'm scared that they're going to be all in the same. And I'm not here for it. I'm just not. Nobody has a story. Exactly. No one has a storyline except for Ariana, Riley, and I guess because he's making everyone's making him the storyline, Charlie. Everybody else does not have a storyline. Georgia doesn't have one because I don't give a fuck about that business, or you're overzealous of Charlie. I really don't give a fuck about that. It is stupid, it is childish, and you need to grow the fuck up. I don't care about Brooks and all this whining, crying, and tee hee hee and he is doing because you're getting off because you're handsome and you're Meredith Mark's son. That's all that is. Take those away, he wouldn't be here. I don't have anything to say about Rowan just yet because she just got here. Gia is extra and it's fodder. She ain't had a storyline either. She ain't said nothing. And Gia had a lot going on during this time. So it's surprising to me that she's not open and expanding more. Ava is not talking about the real shit that's going on. I'm not fucking surprised. Amira, I feel like, is giving, but I don't need her to be so hypersensitive about everything. Like, I don't need that at all. Especially when the opportunity presented itself for you to confront Georgia on the 2 times that you got pissed off that you're bringing into this season, you didn't do it.
That's what you just said, though. That is the recurring theme that is making us bored. Let's keep it a buck. Like, we watch reality TV to see how people will handle the confrontations, but they're all avoiding the confrontation and not confronting people when they need to. And you keep saying that review after review after review with each person. So you were very correct in that aspect. But really, even though I don't care for the show, I will say that all of these kids they're not kids. These young people, these Gen Zers, they all seem, with the exception of Charlie, like they are hard workers. They all seem like they are book smart and intelligent, with the exception of Brooks and Charlie. Um, but they all seem like good kids. Like, they don't seem like bad people. They're just on TV young, and they don't really have much to talk about. And it's like, we had shows like Jersey Shore back in the day when we had like 21 to 23-year-olds. They were hella young when they started that show, or when people used to go on The Real World. I may be showing my age a little bit, but it worked. So it's not just that you're young and privileged, like, they're just not interested.
They're not, but the difference between those shows that you just mentioned is that we got real life shit with them. They had to work. Well, at least in the earlier seasons of the Real World, they stopped doing that after a while. But they had to work. A lot of them were broke and couldn't afford to eat. There was a lot of different elements to that made it so relatable that even if I was 36 years old reviewing the Real World that happened in 2002, I could remember a time where I didn't have enough money to eat, or I was going from job to job, or if I was doing. There's so many relatable elements that I think that with reality TV and this next generation is showing a generation that nobody can really relate to, because a lot of these kids are either wealthy because of their parents, or they're in elements of themselves that a lot of people don't get the same opportunities to be based on either circumstance or just haven't, found their niche. But a lot of people work hard and don't get too much further than when they step. It's just the way of life. It's unfortunate, but play Monopoly. You'll understand the world much better. So yeah. But that was pretty much the episode, y'all. It annoyed me like you would not believe. I can't believe I almost went an hour into this live because I didn't think I would. But they annoyed me to every end because I feel like everybody is being passive aggressive and I'm saying what the real issue is, or even if there's a real issue. And it's frustrating because I want to recap shows and I want to give y'all what y'all want, but this ain't it. This ain't it at all. And I don't know if I'm coming back next season. If they get a season 3, I don't know if I'm coming back because I can't deal unless they get a whole nother cast. Unless I'll keep 3 or 4 of them, but all of these people can't stay here. That's all I'm gonna say. All these people cannot stay here. 3 or 4 of them maybe, but yes, I can't take all of them. But that was it, y'all. That was Next Gen NYC. This episode got on my nerves and looked like this whole season about to do the rest. But that was it. So my next live, you guys, I'm gonna try to get an updates live at some point between the next 2 weeks because we do got a lot of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City news coming, which means that the show is about to come back on pretty soon here. So I'll definitely give y'all some updates. I just need some confirmation. I need some statements from some of that cast before I report on the story. But everybody's picking it up. So you guys will probably get something soon as they start giving me statements. I need statements from some of that cast. But that was it. Thank you, Mrs. Best, for being here. Thank you guys to all of you who showed up in my comments live. Shout out to my replay gang. I appreciate y'all as well. Be sure to catch me and Mrs. Best. We do some pre-records for you guys. We'll have one dropping for Married at First Sight pretty soon here. I
No,
think that's
that's
the
not
next.
a pre-record.
Oh, we go
It's
live for that one?
live. Yes.
Oh,
I'll be
okay.
live tomorrow for Married at First Sight at I guess 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. What is
Yes,
that?
so
8 p.m.
8 p.m., yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, we guys will be live for that one. Great show. I love that show. But yes, we'll be live on Mrs. Best channel pretty much the next couple days. We have Married at First Sight, and then we have Love After Lockup on Saturday. So quite a bit for you guys. So we hope to catch you guys all there. Thank you, Mrs. Best, once again. And I hope to see you guys later. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.